Ah, ladies and gents, how y'all doing? I'm wanting to come and give an update. Y'all, straight from the hospital bed. Thank you. Y'all, how y'all doing? I'm wanting to come. When I say y'all some ride or dies, listen to me. My fans, y'all ride or die. Y'all ride or die. For real. I mean real. Some of y'all called me, talk some Bevelyn, where you at? We're coming to kidnap you. We're gonna take you out of the hospital right now. Y'all was ready to come get me. Y'all, I'm about to give y'all an update on everything that went on. Let me just share this to my page and let me go live on the Grizam. Am I blocked? Shouldn't be. Hold on. Yeah. I'll put a title on that later. Y'all, when I say, bruh, y'all, my fans are the realest. Let me put my heart monitor back in for my nurse coming here tripping. First and foremost, before I get started with this live, I want to show y'all this. Let me flip my camera. I just want to show y'all how loyal y'all are. How much love y'all send my way. This is my room. Y'all have basically filled my room. I got some strawberries. Y'all have filled my room with flowers and balloons and just, I mean, you guys are amazing. Y'all are so full of love and consideration. Like, my fans are better than your fans. My fans are real fans. Real ones that ride with me. So many phone calls, y'all, calling up to this hospital, talking about some Bevelyn. We will come and take you. We will steal you out of this hospital. I just ate, y'all, so bear with me. And I just took my night meds. So I want to give y'all an update on everything going on. Is everybody on here? Y'all ready for this? This gonna be good. Buckle up your seatbelts. Let me put both of my phones on do not hurt, because it's about to get real when I tell you what's going down. Okay. Okay. Now listen. From the top. When I came into this hospital, now they had me on oxygen, but this oxygen is, if you are on oxygen the whole time you're here, you will get dependent on the oxygen. Your lungs by default will start to weaken and you will depend on the oxygen. Okay? Y'all, I've been watching everything going on in the news. I know about how the media, fake news, elected Joe Biden. I'm going to talk about all of that. But I just want to give y'all an update on what's been happening here. Let me explain something to y'all. COVID, I was diagnosed with COVID when I got into this hospital. While right after they had punctured, my lung was punctured. So they put a hole in this is my side, put a tube in it to start to drain my lung. Right as they were doing that in the hospital, they did a quick COVID swab. Did the immediate test. I come back positive. Okay? They take me up to a COVID positive unit. Okay? When I first got here, this is what they did to me. I am at the George Washington University Hospital. This is what they did to me, you guys. They put the tube in, started to drain out my lungs. Okay? Tested me for COVID. These are the first two things they did. And then they put me in a COVID unit. Pay attention. Y'all say, y'all hear, oh, this COVID thing is a real issue. It really can kill you. It can mess up your respiratory system, all this stuff like that. I'm about to tell you how COVID kills you. I'm going to tell you how sometimes when you go to the hospital, these doctors and these nurses, they do malpractice. They focus on the wrong things, and they will end up killing you. Let me tell you something. I even thank you, Jesus. The whole time I was in this hospital, I was not so incognito that I couldn't make phone calls, get in contact with people. My first 2 days, though, because of the pain, I was down for the count. I was on oxycodone, Valium. They was injecting me just to kind of keep me suppressed from this pain. So with all of this pain happening to me, you can imagine, for 2 days, I'm not really asking questions, nothing. Doctors are coming in. I'm kind of like, yeah, because I'm really drugged up. I'm high. And then as my mind start to come back, I make a video quickly on YouTube. I'm still high though. So I'm complaining because I know something's wrong, but I'm like giving up my alias name, my room number, all of that. My sisters is like, no, delete it, Bevelyn, you tripping. So I'm fussing at them. I'm like, listen, I'm not in my right mind. Y'all got to do this stuff. Help me, right? This is why I'm saying this. Because let me tell you something. The moment you are tested COVID positive, you cannot have any visitors. Your family has no access to you and you to them. All you have is your cell phone. If a person is not in their right mind and able to communicate to you, they are at risk. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of these nurses are negligent. A lot of these nurse techs are negligent. And I'm going to let you know something right now. They are doing, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are doing whatever they want to your family because you cannot be there to advocate on their behalf. This is a huge issue. Huge. Mind you, in this particular hospital, a lot of these nurse techs and stuff are Shaniquas and Shanae's. And I can't say Tyrones no more because there's some solid Tyrones, some Laquans. Ghetto. You hear me? Ghetto. All right? And they will do you any way they feel like they want to do you. All right? I'm going to tell you everything that happened to me from top to bottom. I was high and I made that video. But let me tell you something. My fans, y'all called up to this hospital. Y'all were flipping. And with y'all calling up and flipping, doctors was coming to my room left and right. Getting on their job. Getting on their job. I heard they were threatened with lawsuits, everything. But it took that thousands of calls for them to get on their game. Okay? Because they were playing with me. I was like, they trying to kill me. They were y'all, they wanted me on a ventilator. I came in here with a punctured lung due to a stab wound. Before I got in this building, I had absolutely no symptoms of COVID. Nothing. I was at the gym running. A lot of y'all don't know this, but I'm a cross-country runner. I'm not going to run at high speed, but I could run for long distances. I could do a 10-mile run. Easy. That's my thing. Okay? My lungs are very healthy. I'm a singer. I practice with my lungs all the time. So I know how my lungs work. All of a sudden, I'm just declining into COVID out of nowhere. Mind you, I told y'all before, I don't have health insurance. I'm a naturalist. A lot of y'all like, oh, you should get it. Shut the hell up and mind your business. The reality is this. I am not going to get health insurance. I am a single woman. I have no kids. Okay? I take care of myself. I'm not going to keep running back to a doctor every day for a second opinion on my health. I'm a grown woman. I should know how to take care of myself. I do my own research on what to do to take care of myself. I exercise. I eat as healthy as I can. Okay? I take vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, spirulina, what's that, Irish sea moss. I'm natural. Okay? I brush my teeth with this every day, twice a day. I have some of the whitest teeth you'll ever see in your life. I don't got to keep running back to a doctor for a second opinion. Probiotics, okay? My cha-cha don't stink because I take care of it internally and externally. I study proper things to do to your body So I'm not one of those naturalists that just be out here, okay, no deodorant, just sweat it out. No, I'm a naturalist, but I still wear perfume, deodorant, wear fur, but I take care of my body. I take care of my skin. That's why I got asked for my skin regimen. This is what I do, all right? I'm not into medical stuff because I don't trust doctors. I understand some doctors are, trained well and have good intentions, but a lot of them don't know Jesus. I'm not going to put my life into the hands of someone who don't know the author of life, okay? This is my right. I'm a grown woman. This is my decision I choose. So I don't care who don't like it. Why am I saying this? So now when I come to this hospital, I'm obviously down for the count because my lung is punctured, okay? They test me for COVID. They put me in a COVID unit. They do two things. They give me a tetanus shot for the knife because it's a foreign object, okay? They give me a shot of antibiotics, I think, or a pill the first time I get here, okay? And they give me, that's it. And then they give me painkillers. Get me in this room, get me in the bed. For 2 days, I'm out. I think the next morning I wake up, I talk to my Mama Joe. Mama Joe tells me that while this tube is in me, I need antibiotics. I got another friend, who's a nurse. She says the same thing. She says if you have that tube in you, you need antibiotics to just kind of kill any bacteria that may try to build up, okay? So I came in on Tuesday night. I was here Wednesday. Wednesday night, let me tell you where it started. Wednesday night. Now, mind you, my lungs are down, so I'm not drinking as much liquid as I can because I'm in pain. I got a tube in my ribs, and it's excruciating. Mind you, I got it while I was woke. They didn't put me to sleep. The worst pain, I ain't gonna get started. The pain to get that in, and now my body has to adjust, and my muscles are contracting on the tube because it wants it out. That pain is no joke. It's no joke. Real talk. So the tube is in here, right? In here. So they got me down on that. I can't really drink a lot of liquids because if I burp, it hurts so bad, right? So this is what happens. The doctor puts me on fluids. So these are three things: tetanus shot, antibiotic pill, the tube, painkillers, fluids. While the nurse was getting off shift, my fluids ran out, okay? So now she's off shift. She got to go debrief with the other nurse, leaves my fluids out. The new nurse comes. When the new nurse comes in, she sees that I'm off the fluids. She disconnects the fluids, disconnects my IV, okay? Puts the fluids away. For a whole shift, the whole night, I have no fluids. So by the next shift, I'm totally dehydrated. But again, I'm still out of it. But I peeped what she did, okay? So now, what happens when you're dehydrated? You build your white blood cell count go up immediately, and your head starts to hurt because you're dehydrated, okay? It's already starting to fight something. You fight diseases by being hydrated. Naturally, with taking vitamins and stuff, you keep watering your system because it builds your immune system. Naturally, that's what it does. They leave me dehydrated. So my throat is dry. I'm starting to feel like, not really mucus, but strepish up here, okay? My head is hurting. So I say, listen, y'all need to reconnect my liquids. So then she reconnects my liquids for me the next shift. The water starts to drip, my liquids is back in. And then I'm drinking water here and there. I asked them for Gas X so that while I'm burping, while I'm taking in liquids, I'm not burping so much because it hurts really bad. They never give me Gas X. So I asked my sister to sneak me up Gas X in a pair of socks so that I could take it and so I could start drinking my liquids. So I say about the next day, Thursday come, evening, I'm back rehydrated. Guess what happens when I'm back rehydrated? I feel mucus, phlegm, all in my throat. And I'm trying to get it out, but I'm trying to pull it out with my throat, but it's still hard. So I'm trying to pull it out, it ain't coming out, right? So then I tell my sister, get me some Mucinex. Now, in the midst of all of this happening, the doctor comes in and says to me, oh, Bevelyn, your lungs. Now, my lung had collapsed on this side. It had collapsed because of the puncture. So they're cleaning it out. And now they're saying that by them draining it out, they thought my lung would have had already relapsed. It didn't. So they were saying, oh, we think it's because of COVID. Because of the COVID issues, your lung didn't relapse. But check this. They diagnosed me, they tested me for COVID the day I got here. They never treated me for COVID. They didn't treat me for COVID. They tested me for it, but they never treated me for it, right? Now, I think 2 days in, they're giving me blood thinners, but they're telling me it's because of COVID. But I'm like, why are y'all giving me blood thinners for COVID if you haven't even started treating me for COVID? That doesn't make sense to me. So they're like, oh, because, COVID makes your blood thick and this and the other. I'm like, again, I'm still kind of out of it. So usually when I'm in, I can start peeping things quick. But because I'm out of it, I got to slowly register what's going on. And they're talking doctor talk. But doctor talk or not, Bevelyn ain't stupid. I might be a lot of things, but I'm far from dumb, right? So now she's saying, oh, COVID, we think that's the reason why your lung hasn't elapsed. We're still going to give it some time, monitor it, do some more x-rays, see what's happening. I say to them on Thursday. Now, no, on Wednesday I mentioned antibiotics, but I say to my doctor again on Thursday. I make a complaint about my nurses with the leaving me without liquid neglect, okay? And then one of my nurses, I ain't even gonna mention that story, leaving me without liquid was neglect. I said, listen, these nurses are neglectful. I don't want them nowhere near me. I don't want them as my nurse, okay? And so I make that complaint with them, and then I say, so what's going on with the antibiotics? Are y'all gonna give me the antibiotics? They're like, well, we're not gonna do it right now. Usually when a person comes in, if they're tested COVID positive, we don't really just immediately treat them for COVID, and we don't just immediately put them on antibiotics because there may be side effects for antibiotics. So I said, so basically, y'all wait until there's an issue before you start to treat the issue? They say, well, yeah. I'm like, what? So if it's clear what the issues are, y'all don't try to get to the issue before it becomes worse? They're like, oh, well, we don't really do that. We're just weighing things out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so y'all rolling the dice with my life. What they're basically telling me. But I'm like, okay, cool. Fine. So, boom, this is what happens. They tell me the issue is COVID. So they're not gonna, so then a disease control doctor comes in. She says, listen, I don't think that it is an infection. I think that the issue she's having is due to COVID. So I don't think we need to give her any type of antibiotics. We may have to start treating her just for COVID because, it's looking like it's coming from COVID. And I'm like, but how am I having symptoms all of a sudden for COVID now that I didn't have before? Well, they said, oh, because your trauma. You went through a traumatic experience, so it's a possibility that you may be, traumatized, and now your body is reacting to COVID now because of that. Doesn't make sense to me, but this is what they're selling. This is what they're selling to me. So I'm like, okay, but y'all sure y'all don't want to check on infections, things like that? They're like, no. I think all of this issue, all of it's because of COVID. All of a sudden, it's all about COVID, right? Now, mind you, had I not been tested COVID positive, they would have been thinking it was an infection. They wouldn't even have thought COVID if I wasn't tested COVID positive. But because I was tested COVID positive, they was like, no, everything is COVID. Now, all of a sudden, my breathing issues, even though I was punctured in my lung because I was stabbed, it's all COVID. Everything is based off COVID. Okay, so hear me out. So this is what happened. After that, the disease control lady leaves. I talked to my doctor. I said, well, listen, if she finds out I'm sneaking medicine in, sneaking like vitamins and stuff in, she says, listen, don't sneak them in. Whatever you need, I'll just prescribe them to you. I say, okay. I tell her, prescribe me zinc, niacin. I had my sister bring me up 3 2-liter bottles of tonic water. I had vitamin C, as I said before, vitamin D, all of this stuff like that. I had them bring up and give to me naturally, right? So now listen. She prescribes me Mucinex. Last night, I was looking for Mucinex. My sister, the night before, I was looking for Mucinex. My sister couldn't find it. I had her sneak me up NyQuil. I took 2 NyQuils. I laid down. It put me to sleep for a second. When I got up to use the bathroom, I coughed so much, y'all, that I seen mucus coming through the tube in my side. Big chunks of mucus. And I'm like, I knew there was some type of phlegm I'm dealing with. So, and it helped. It put me to sleep that night. I literally passed out after that. But the pain was so excruciating, I basically passed out because of the pain. So look, the next day the doctor says, okay, I'll give you Mucinex. She assigns me Mucinex. So as soon as she starts assigning me Mucinex, for a day and a half after she gives me Mucinex, constantly, and I told her I want it around the clock. If it's every 6 hours, I want her to give it to me every 6 hours. I'm coughing. Now, with the painkillers in, I can cough better and it doesn't hurt. But the thing, let me tell you this too. My nurses did not stay on top of my painkillers. The number one thing is you never want to keep your patient in pain because it's hard for them to recover if they're in pain. I can't even, if I have a tube in my lung that's not, it's supposed to be there, and y'all expect me to inhale and exhale and try to breathe and exercise my lungs, that is so hard to do when you are in that much pain. So the doctor's job is so important for you guys, or the nurse's job really, is to stay on top of the pain meds. So I made a complaint about that. I said, I'm waking up at night. My nurses don't wake me up with my pain meds. I'm waking up in the middle of the night in excruciating pain. Okay? One of my nurses come and say, oh, well, it's not really a sign. Most of your pain meds are as needed, so you're supposed to request them. So I said, wait. So in the morning, when I got the morning nurses, they're asking me, they're like, hey, Bev, do you want me to wake you up when you have pain? When you're ready for your pain meds? I said, yes, please, wake me up. These nurses are so lazy, especially the ones at night. Not all of them, because I've been having better nurses, way better nurses than what I started with. They will just let you sleep, won't bother you. So when you wake up in excruciating pain and you can no longer, you're waking up because the pain is kicked in so much, you cannot breathe. So then you have to get the pain medicines from them, wait another hour before the pain recedes, and then reset. That's what I was going through for my first 3 or 4 days in this hospital, because the nurses, I say 2 to 3 days, because I got rid of those nurses before I started to feel better. Hear me out though. So now I'm taking the Mucinex. I'm coughing up phlegm. They give me a test cup. She says, here, cough into this test cup, spit all of your phlegm into this test cup, and we're going to test it for infection. I spit up, y'all, about 2.5 cups of phlegm straight, spitting up phlegm in my sleep, which I'm not minding it. I want to cough it up, get it out as much as possible. Now, the next day, the doctor comes to me and says, hey, Bev, so we're still going to treat you for COVID, but we're also going to put you on antibiotics because the phlegm is a sign, the constant phlegm that you're coughing up is a sign of, guess what? Drum roll, infection. Bacterial infection, either bronchitis or the flu. So I say to her, Miss, obviously, the moment I told you I had phlegm in my throat, I said, but Miss, I've been asking for antibiotics. Why y'all just now giving it to me? So finally, they give me antibiotics and they assign it to me that night. They gave it to me, and they started to treat me with steroids and whatever treatment they got for COVID, which is a good treatment, because I had another doctor confirm it and test it and check. I sent it to another doctor, my list of medications they were giving me, to make sure they was doing me right, and she said I was good after I had to regulate. So boom, check this out, it gets better. So then now they're treating me with antibiotics now, treating me with the COVID medicine. But check this out. They said they did an x-ray, and they said, but your lung still seems to not be inflating. We believe that's still because of COVID, right? So then they said, we're going to put another tube, a smaller tube, above where we put the first tube, and we're going to behind your lung, and we're going to suck out the blood, because your lungs are supposed to technically be stuck to your rib wall. That's the way it works. So they say, because it collapsed, blood and air got behind your rib wall. So we got to put a tube behind there to suck it out. So they put another tube behind my lung to suck it out. So they had that in for a day. And she says, if that's the case, then we good. Now at this time, they started talking about surgery. They were saying that if my lung didn't relapse, they were going to have to go in, do surgery on me. Okay? And after doing surgery on me, relapse my lung for me. Now check this out. Before they told me that, I was getting surgery. The detective of the case for looking for those guys, mind you, they're still looking for them. They got pictures, but they're getting all the cameras for the faces of the guys who were out that night. And then they're going to send them to me. I remember the face. They're going to send them to me. And then they're going to make sure they get everybody else from the Proud Boys to identify. So right now they're just getting the faces lined up to get these guys. But it's in works. Don't worry. People is going to jail. Okay? So look. What they do is they tell my detective. My detective came up to see me, I think the second day. They tell my detective that I'm COVID positive and I'm possibly going into surgery, so he can't come see me. So then my detective has to call me on my phone. He calls me, and then I gave him my email so we could stay in contact via email and phone, and tells me that somebody downstairs said he can't see me because I'm COVID positive and I might be getting surgery. Now then, 3 days later, they mentioned surgery. So when the detective said that to me, I said, surgery? Nobody talked to me about surgery. How they telling you I'm getting surgery before I even know I'm getting surgery? I said, what? That don't make sense. So then now, the doctor's talking about we're going to put the second tube in. If it doesn't inflate your lung, we're going to have to do surgery. That night, after they did that, for whatever reason they said it didn't inflate, there's a possibility I might have to go ahead and get this tube taken out, get another bigger tube put in. On top of that, that night I'm having issues with the security. Let me tell you what the security did. The security would not give me my stuff. Family and friends, y'all would be sending stuff to me. The security would leave my stuff downstairs at reception. It would not bring my stuff up, no matter what. Left flowers, balloons, everything, and were trying to keep me from having my stuff. And Edna and my older sister were going through hell with security to try to even give me something. Okay? These people in these hospitals, when they know family can't visit and they don't have to answer the family, and they got regular administration orders to block the hospital, they will really do you and your family any type of way. That's a fact. Watch what hospital you go to, okay? Because these people, the security we dealt with, one of them, I sent my nurse down because my sister got me some gummy worms. One of them had the audacity to tell my nurse that it's illegal for me to get stuff because I'm a trauma patient. I said, no, it's not. That's illegal. He's trying to withhold my stuff from me. So then my sister talked to another security, I guess some guy she was flirting with, and he said, no. We are not allowed to withhold your stuff. he said we can get our stuff between visiting hours. So he brought the stuff up to me, explained to me visiting hours. But all I'm saying is that every day, for every person, there was a new excuse and a new reason to not do something for them. And they refused to let my family come up and see me. So that right there, not fun. So I'm finding out they got gifts of mine downstairs that they've been holding for 2 days. Plus, the doctors keep coming in with bad news. They keep telling me I'm getting worse and worse and worse from COVID. From COVID. Y'all, I break down crying. I'm like, mind you, I got 2 tubes in me, so I can't get up and walk out of the hospital. I'm stuck. My family can't come up and get me. Okay? I lose it. I'm crying. I'm like, ah, Jesus, help me. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. And this is after I made that video where I was high a little bit, telling y'all what was going on. I'm just crying. Edna's on the phone. The hotel she's in is 10 minutes down. She's a 10-minute walk away. She gets out of the bed, walks, and I'm just crying. I'm like, Lord, they're trying to kill me. Lord, help me, please. I am wailing. I'm like, Lord, what do I gotta do? I felt so stuck because I'm like, family ain't here. I can't just pull these tubes out. The nurses and staff is doing me any type of way right now, and there's nothing I can do. There's no advocates to fight for me. I was so hopeless, and just like, not hopeless, but I just felt so cornered, like my back was against the wall, and I'm just crying and flipping out. And then the supervisors come. I tell them what happened. Mind you, let me tell you about this. What really was the icing on the cake to me crying was I had to pee. And for that night, I couldn't get out of the bed. So I had to pee in a bedpan. So I'm telling the nurse, I tell one of the nurse techs, I'm not thinking she's my nurse tech. I'm thinking she's my neighbor's before she left. I said, Miss, could you get my nurse and let her know I have to pee? So she gets my nurse. Or she doesn't get my nurse. She gets the bedpan. She wraps it up. And she hands it to me. And I said, oh, well, how do I do it? She says, I don't know. Can you lift yourself up? I said, yeah. So I pull myself up as much as I can. And then she gives it to me. And I said, well, how do I sit on it? She said, I don't know. You don't know? Okay. So now I have to figure out. Mind you, I'm in pain, y'all. I got a tube in my lung. I'm on oxygen. This woman really tells me, I don't know. It makes me fix my bedpan for myself. So I figure it out. I sit on the bedpan, pee. The woman pulls the bedpan from out of me, pulls the bed pad. Then she wipes me, and then I have to wipe myself. And then I give her the stuff. She points to the floor, tosses it on the floor. She takes my pillow, just drops my pillow on the floor. I look at the nurse tech and I say, Miss, if you didn't want to help me, you didn't have to help me. Well, don't assume. I said, assume, miss, I'm not assuming. I'm telling you. If you didn't want to help me, you don't have to help me. She said, oh, well, you ain't got to come at me like, I'm not coming at you like nothing. Miss, you are being very rude right now. I said, you're very ghetto. You know that? You ghetto. I said, I'm not ghetto, you're ghetto. And I said, let me explain something to you. Older woman. You know one of them older Shaniqua women with the blue tooth, with the short hairstyle, with the curls. And then got the little spike, little short hairstyle, look like she's driving Impala. One of them. She was one of those. She's talking about something, well, don't come at me like that. I'm just saying, da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, literally trying to argue with me while I'm in excruciating pain. And I'm like, oh no. I said, Miss, you are so unprofessional. It's not even funny. I said, I'm calling the supervisor. I get on the phone with her supervisor while she's there, telling her in front of her face. And I said, I don't want this woman nowhere near me. I want her out of here. I don't want her as my tech. I don't want her nowhere near me. She ain't been in this room since. Okay? She finished up her night. I told her in the morning, I told the supervisors that night, that's when I broke down crying. Because I'm already frustrated about them telling me all of this bad news on one side. Security and nurses is acting up on one side. And then this chick, the smallest thing, just being so disrespectful, not wanting to help me just pee, knowing I really cannot do it right now. Oh, I was devastated. I was like, I'm breaking down in tears. And then I'm like, this is ice on the cake. Talk to the supervisor, tell them what happened. They that night, y'all, they gave me Valium. They told me they were gonna give me a CAT scan. They just drugged me up with Valium and other stuff with my permission, because they said I'm showing signs of anxiety. They gave me oxycodone, Valium, whatever like that, my painkillers. I was gone to the morning. In the morning, they changed my doctor. I get a new doctor. Now, mind you, that night I cried. I called Papa Che. I called my pastor. I don't know if y'all know him. He was at Trump's, when Trump was getting prayed by the black community. He was one of the pastors there. His name is Pastor Mark Little. Me and him connected, and so me, him, and his wife, stay clean, connected, and we've been in touch. I called Papa Che, Cheyenne, and I called him on the phone crying. I said, they're trying to kill me. And I started to tell them what was happening. They said, oh no. They started to get physicians on it. Now, mind you, I didn't tell them all of this stuff because, again, I wasn't really there yet to know everything going on. But once I started to know what was going on, I was on the phone with them, telling them everything that was happening, what they were doing to me. So then they start making phone calls. They're calling up physicians they know in DC area, and they're making moves. Because I'm like, they trying to kill me. Thank God I had some type of higher up backup to help me out, bro. Real talk. Hold on, I got to burp again. Ooh, look. The burps are healthy. Don't be tripping about my burps. This is a good sign. Let me burp. And leave me alone. So check this out. So then now, I called them in the night. I guess all night they're making phone calls and busting moves. Mind you, Papa Che and Pastor Mark Little are all in Cali, making phone calls from Cali over here. The next morning, I had Dr. Davins, which was actually one of Trump's doctors, on my phone, calling me and requesting a list of all of the meds that I had. On top of that, they changed my doctors. Check this out. The people I was dealing with, my doctors were students. They were young kids. The new doctor they sent me was an older guy. The next morning, he comes, he checks in on me, he gets an x-ray. He said, you don't need a CAT scan and all of that. I'm going to give you an x-ray. And I say in about 2 hours, he comes back. He tells me we're going to take out both of these tubes and put in one big tube, and it's going to suck everything out and reinflate your lung. If it doesn't, you got to get surgery. So I agree with that. I talked to the other doctors, showed them the revised list of my meds, everything that they were doing. They approved. So I'm like, okay. They're saying stay in the hospital, get the treatments done. Everything is starting to look copacetic. So this is what happened. They come that day. I'm thinking the next day they was going to do this, y'all. I might cry when I tell y'all this story. They come and they like, okay, we're going to take out those 2 tubes and put in that one big tube. When they take out those 2 tubes, they take them out because they're clogged. Guess what they're clogged with? Mucus. Clearly, my lungs were not reinflating because of an infection, not because of COVID. It had nothing to do with COVID. Okay? So now, when you get a tube in you, y'all, they don't put you to sleep. You are wide awake for the pain. Okay? They come, they lay me on my side. They take the tubes out. That hurt. You can see the clumps of mucus in the tubes. That's why they're no longer pumping. And so then now they got this big tube that they put in right here. I have to lay to the side. They numb you to cut open an incision, and they had to put the tube in between my ribs. Y'all, they had to pop the meat in between my ribs to stick the tube in. So he's holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, He said, all right, this is about to hurt. Sticks the thing in, pops the meat in between my ribs. I scream murder. Ah! Ah! Why y'all doing this to me? Why? Lord! Why you doing this? Why, Lord Jesus? Why they doing this to me? Ah! And these men, they moving so fast. They're moving so fast, trying to get it done. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. Y'all, I would have rather had a baby. I would have rather had a baby. That pain, I would have rather had a baby. It would have been easier for me. Nah, y'all understand. They put the tube in. And when they put the tube in, they stick their finger in my rib. And they said, what's that? Stream. And they feel a line of mucus under. And they realize my lungs haven't inflated because of the mucus. Mucus is from bacteria, not from COVID. From bacteria. There's a reason I'm telling you this. I hope y'all are paying attention. So they put the new tube in. It starts to suck out. And then they drug me up and I fall asleep. I was so exhausted. And the pain in my, oh my God. Oh my God, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's no joke. The next morning, I get up. Nah, I say that 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours after that, I get up. I feel amazing. My lung has expanded a little bit more. I'm able to get out of the bed on my own. I wipe myself on my own. I clean up my room on my own. I use the bathroom on my own. I poop for the first time since I've been in the hospital. I asked for a laxative before that from my nurse, but I finally sit outside of my bed and I poop. Y'all, I felt like $1,000,000, okay? My poop looked healthy. It was green. It was where it needed to be. I'm like, listen, I'm good. I was able to get back in the bed on my own, everything. Okay? The tube didn't hurt so bad. So then I lay in my bed and I start praying. And I say, Father God, I am not at peace about getting surgery. I know. I feel like they're trying to kill me. And if they not, the devil definitely is. I don't want nobody putting me out. I don't want no form of surgery. Because next thing you know, I'll wake up on a ventilator. If I wake up. I don't got time for that. I don't trust that. So I'm like, Lord, I don't want no surgery. I don't want no surgery. I'm praying. I'm like, Father God. And then, mind you, after they put the tube in, I cried like a baby, y'all. I laid on that bed and I cried. And I was like, Jesus, help me, please, Lord. I can't take it. It hurt too much. I'm like, Lord, please help me. When they stuck me with that tube, I didn't think about my mom. I didn't think about my father. I thought about Jesus. And I cried out. And even after the doctors was done and left, I just laid on my bed and cried. I just cried. I was crying. Y'all, I just couldn't stop crying. Because it really hurt. It really hurt. And when you don't have no family right there next to you, it's just not fun. It really is not fun when you don't have a hand to hold. So it was me and God. It was me and God, for real. So now, I wake up. I told you that part. I feel better. The next morning, no, in the middle of the night, they wake me up again. They take me to get a CAT scan. By this time, I could get on the CAT scan table by myself. I could lay flat. I'm chilling. No issues at all. They do the CAT scan on me. They tell me not to eat, not to drink water. They gave me a little bit of pain meds, but at first they wasn't even trying to do that. So I'm thinking in my mind, they trying to do surgery. They trying to plan surgery. But I'm like, listen, I'm gonna let them know I'm giving them an ultimatum. They're not gonna do surgery unless Ed Maker come up and I can have somebody there with me when I get out of surgery. Y'all not going to just do surgery on me and I'm going to be by myself and wake up by myself. I'm not doing that. So the surgeon come in, I let him know what I'm on. But I'm thinking, the writing's written on the wall, I'm going to have surgery. Wait 2 more hours. I call Edme to come up. She walks into the hospital and waits to see what's what. Finally, my doctor comes in. And my doctor says, I don't need surgery. My lung is fully expanded. Don't need surgery. He said, I got good news and bad news. That was the good news. Then he tells me the bad news. He says the bad news is COVID has affected this side of your lung. So your right lung was an issue. Now your left lung is inflamed and not really as strong as it needs to be. And he's saying it's because of COVID. Let me explain something to y'all. 2 plus 2 always equals 4. No matter how you add it up, no matter what you do. If 2 plus 2 don't add up to 4. The problem doesn't. If you even got to do this, reset, something not right. If you got to calculate in your mind what's going on, reset, something not right. Think about this. He tells me, oh, even though, first of all, they've been having an issue getting my oxygen the entire time I've been in the hospital because I have nails. These are my real nails, but my real nails are overlaid with acrylic. So it's been very hard for them to get a read because they take your oxygen, do this right here. So when your finger's in it, well, it hasn't even lit up in a while. It lights up red, so this ain't even working. It lights up red, and that's how they check to see where your oxygen is at. They have not been able to get a proper oxygen on me, like 80% of the time in the hospital, and they're saying it's because of my nails. Okay? So now the doctor comes in saying, oh, your lung is acting up due to COVID. You know, the COVID's just taking a toll on you. So you may have to be here. You know, we're going to take out the tube possibly Friday, but you may have to be here for another 2 weeks after that just to build your breathing back up because you're on oxygen. So because my lungs was declining because of an infection, I had to be on oxygen, okay? Because I was on oxygen, the thing is, when you're on oxygen, you depend on the oxygen. If you start to breathe on oxygen, your body starts to depend on the oxygen. So now, one lung was already, this was out for the count. This lung was basically trying to sustain, but in a sense wasn't even where it needed to be because I'm on oxygen. So I'm not even giving this lung enough work because I'm on oxygen and this lung is down for the count. So I'm really just depending on the oxygen of this tube to get me by, right? So now when he tells me, oh, this lung is good, but this lung isn't good, you need to stay just for the oxygen. I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, oxygen? Bro, I might be a lot of things, but I ain't no damn dummy. I know for a fact that I've been dependent on oxygen because of the virus, not the virus, but the infection due to y'all not doing your job in the first place, okay? That's where I ain't gonna tell him that. I ain't about to argue with this man because doctors think you stupid. Doctors think, oh, because I went to school for 20 years, I'm smart and you're dumb. Listen, common sense is common sense, all right? I know, and might not be no doctor or a rocket scientist, but 2 plus 2 means 4. You're not going to just play me like I'm dumb, okay? Because I'm not dumb. Reality is this. This lung has to be exercised. This whole time I'm talking to y'all seeing I ain't have my oxygen on. I don't need my oxygen. I've been able to breathe and talk to y'all directly. I'm not lightheaded, nothing. I have not needed my oxygen. I said, oh, this guy think it's a game. They gave me this tube right here to start to practice breathing with. So I've been breathing with this, sucking this thing in, getting there, practicing. And what I would do is I would suck in the air real hard. With the oxygen, I would use the oxygen to help me suck in the air real hard. And I would hold my breath. and I would feel the pressure of the air go into this side of my lung that was acting up. And I would feel my lung expanding on this side because this side was already fully expanded. So I did that like 20 times. Mind you, I got up. I started exercising. I'm up. I'm walking. I'm moving my arms. I'm lifting them up and down. I'm making sure, as you move, you know what I mean? Making sure that my lungs start to move. I'm an exerciser. Bruh, I know how to make my lungs expand. Okay? So then I look online for some other tricks to do even in the bed. I lay flat on my back. I breathe out my nose real slow. I inhale with my nose real slow. And then I exhale out of my mouth very slow. And I do that constantly. In rotation without stopping for air. And just training my lungs. Re-expanding my lungs. I'm like listening to him. If you sit in this bed on oxygen, yes, you will be in a hospital for 14 days because you're dependent on the oxygen. So they're going to let you out once your lungs have finally figured out how to not be dependent on it. But even after you leave the hospital, you're going to have to go through so much with your lungs just to get them right because they've been on oxygen. I was like, oh, no. I'm going to work my lungs now. Tomorrow, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed tonight early. Get up in the morning, eat my breakfast. I'm going to start working out. Stretching my lungs. If I have to, I'll put a little bit of this oxygen in to help me as I work out and to get my lungs expanded. But after that, get back in this bed, do breathing exercises. Oh, these lungs don't work. I'm not depending on this damn oxygen for me to live. Are you crazy? And it ain't got nothing to do with COVID. You could tell me, oh, it's because of COVID. No, I was in great health before I came here. Ain't no way I just declined out of nowhere from no damn COVID. I know my health. I take care of myself. So no, we gonna exercise. We gonna walk around. We gonna breathe. Use this if we need it, if necessary. If I feel lightheaded to the point that I feel like I may pass out, then I'll put this on. But for the most part, no, I work out to the point where I feel lightheaded and I may have to sit down. So what is this? Let me tell y'all something. All of that to say this. What I went through in this hospital was due to malpractice. These doctors want money off of COVID so bad. They will take any issue you have and it will make it about COVID. A lot of y'all family members have died, not technically, they say COVID. Had I had died in this hospital, it wouldn't have been about the fact that I got stabbed. They would have said I died because of COVID. Because they ain't everything to COVID. So since you can't visit your family members, since you can't check on them, since you can't be on point with them, your family member is susceptible to passing away to COVID because of malpractice. I said it before and I said it before I even experienced it. I experienced it. I'm letting you know right now, if your family's in a hospital and you can't see your family, you better ask your whole family to raise hell and figure out what's going on. Because if your family is dying of COVID, God forbid they had a prior issue. When the COVID situation started to rise up, so they say, they was asking me, was I HIV positive? Did I have sex recently? Did I have any prior health issues? They were asking me for my family's health issues. I said, first of all, I ain't HIV positive. I don't have sex. I'm a naturalist. Even if my family did have issues, I'm not telling you. I don't have those issues because I take care of my body. My family's history is not my history. Okay? History is his story, not Bev's story. Okay? So I'm not even going to tell you what my prior family situation was. Y'all are not going to play with me. I know that I'm healthy. Y'all not going to try to put, basically, as you start to decline on COVID, they ask you for prior issues so that they can put off your prior issues on the reason why you're declining, and it doesn't point back to them. When all of this could have been hindered by simply giving me antibiotics, okay, and giving me the proper care I needed from the beginning, none of this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been in this hospital that long. I would have been gone. I would have been out of here. But that's what happened. So that's what I wanted to tell y'all. That's what's been going on with me. That's why I was crying and making that crazy live, because I really was concerned for my life. But things are out of grip now. So I thank you, Lord, for that. He's kept me. He sustained me. And He sustained my life. Listen, I'm good. I am getting out of here. But don't push your worry and fear on me. I done been through too much. I'm more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ. Keep your worry and fear over there, okay? Keep it that way. Like I said, the Lord kept me and He sustained me. Now what I will tell y'all is this. Everything was so that I could end up on a ventilator and die. That was the goal. They wanted me on a ventilator and dead. Period. I'm not even going to get started with the Trump and Biden situation. The reality is, this is what I say about Trump and Biden. Real quick, I'm going to throw this out there. But I'm going to make a comment about that when I get out. Let me tell y'all something. Usually when a president wins, he wins and he wins the Senate. The media announced that Biden was the president. Senate said not so. He lost. The Democrats lost way more seats in House than they should have. And legally, they are not transferring that position to Biden. All of this has got to go through court. So you got social media, celebrities, everybody gloating right now. Trolls like, ha ha ha, Biden's your president. They're going to all disappear. The Supreme Court says, ha ha ha, no he's not. So I'm not even responding to them demons, because when people respond like that, I know that they don't understand the judicial system, and I'm just going to leave it up to them being a little slow, or should I say undereducated. They not educated. Anybody got to why argue with an undereducated dummy? That makes no sense. So watch this. The reality is Trump won. The proof is going to be in the pudding. And guess what? He set a lot of them up. He sent a lot of the ballots with watermarks on them to prove that they were fake ballots. He got more than enough evidence. He's going to prove that it was a stolen situation. Hi, how you doing? He's going to prove that it was a stolen situation. Trump is going to be the president. And we ain't got to worry about no daggone Biden and all of that. Kamala. But I love the fact that they announced that Kamala and Joe Biden won. Why? I'm speaking to the church now. If any of your church friends or leaders took the time to co-sign and say, congratulations, Kamala, like T.D. Jakes did. Congratulations, Joe Biden. You already know where they at. You already know. They ain't no real Christians. They fake. They told on themselves. I'm going to tell you something right now. For me personally, it was clear with COVID. COVID exposed a lot of fake Christians and a lot of fake people for who they were. But the reality is, for some people, it was still a gray area because they cloaked it in, you want to be considerate of your friends and your family. You want to be considerate of others, right? So that's why you build that patience for that. But I'll tell you this. Ain't no gray area with Joe Biden and Kamala. If you stand for them, you the Antichrist. And you co-sign the Antichrist if you stand with them. Period. And that's going to let me know where that's at. So go ahead and expose yourself. Tell yourself who you are. You about to find out if your neighbors are solid or not. You about to find out if your friends are really your foes. Y'all about to find out the truth. And then guess what's going to happen? My ear's ringing because I'm talking so loud. I got to go. 2 minutes I got left. And what's going to happen is when Trump is announced as president, y'all better get your game up. Get your weight up and start pushing the kingdom. Because I'm going to tell you, this world is wicked. And these people out to kill us. They're really out to take our country. And they're really out to take us out. And it ain't a joke. It's for real. They really trying to kill us out here in the streets. They are trying to take us out. And I know that for a fact. I experienced it. But Jesus is Lord. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Y'all cute now. Go ahead. Celebrate. Show yourself. Show the demon for who you really are. But we're going to see what happens at inauguration. And watch it be President Donald J. Trump that sits up in that White House. And I don't care who don't like it. That's what it's going to be. So, God bless y'all. I love y'all. Keep praying for me. Keep praying for me. If y'all want to call the hospital, but don't blow up my phone, my room phone. Let me rest. But I love y'all. God bless y'all. I'm out.